All right, everyone. So we're going to start working on Module 8 Learn, our Keyhole assignment. So for the Keyhole assignment, you're first off going to want to start by downloading this template here. You might also want to reference this image. This is the black and white version of the Keyhole assignment, so you can see what this is going to look like. We're actually going to be using a mirror tool to mirror this across from the right to the left to make things a bit easier and quicker for us. But this is what your final submission will look like to Canvas. So I'll close out of there. And this is available in class to print out too. So opening up AutoCAD.
In this video, we're going to be covering how to use the mirror
Sorry,
tool
everyone.
in AutoCAD.
There's some videos that just started playing there.
A couple of shapes over here.
There we go. Pause that. That's from UVU. Those will be off of there soon. Okay, so on AutoCAD here, the Keyhole assignment, you can see I have my drawing here to the left of what this will look like here at the end. We're going to start by drawing a center point. So a center point for this big circle right here. We're going to look at all our measurements over here on the left. Notice I have my properties open up too, because we're going to be using that throughout our activity here. So center line will be on my center line just as a reference here, and I'm going to draw a line straight across. And you want to make sure that your ortho mode is on, or F8. If you press FN and then F8, it will turn on ortho mode. And it'll turn on ortho mode, so draw a nice straight line across, like so. And then I'm going to find the center point on this too, and I'm going to draw a line straight up and come straight back down. And these are just going to be reference points that we're going to delete later. All right, now that I've done that here, let's start looking at this drawing and see where we want to start. I think I'm going to start up top here and this line. So I know if I want to use this as my center point, I'm actually going to offset this line by 2.5. So I'm going to go offset and 2.5, and this one's going to come straight up. And this is representing the difference between here and right here. Now, let's bring that back again. And I want to make sure I put that on my object layer. So I'm going to go here, and then up here to change it to my object layer. And I'm going to make that my current layer too. Then I want to offset a few other things here. So I want to start on this right side. I want to offset that line by 0.5, 1.17, and then 0.5, like so. So let's do offset 0.5, boom, and then offset again, 1.17. And these are just going to be reference lines that I'm going to be using to draw out my different shapes. Then offset again, 0.5. So I want to find where this edge is right here. So I can look at this edge here, and I know it's similar on that side. I'm going to find this center point, I guess. So we're going to offset this center line by 3.5 to find the center line of this circle right here. So offset 3.5. And again, there's multiple ways to do this here. And I'm going to change all of these lines besides that top line to a center line, just so I know to keep things organized so I can see it a little bit better. And then on here, okay, I know this is going to be the center point for that circle. What else can I mark out here? I'm going to offset this line at the bottom by 2.749. So I know where the radius of those small little arcs will start, right in here. Okay, so let's take a look at, we'll zoom in on this area up here, and I'm going to reference my paper that I have in front of me while I go through this here. So I know on this line right here, this center point here, so I'm going to go C for circle. I'm on my object layer right now, and I want to make a circle that is 0.562 in diameter. So this one right here, this is going to be 0.562 in diameter. So D for diameter, and then 0.562, enter. Then I'm also going to do the radiuses of these arcs that are down over here. So I'm going to do these radiuses here, And they're actually in 8 separate places. You can see there's 1, 2 here, 3, 4 here, and then there's 5, and then there is a 6 down here, and then there's a 7 and an 8 going around. So a radius of 0.5. Okay, so on this one here, just double check here, it should be this circle and this circle here. So C for circle, and I'm already in a radius. I'll specify a center point, and this would be 0.5. And same thing here, or I can copy it. I'm just going to copy it, CO for copy, find that center point there, and I can bring it down. Then I am going to trim this out, and we're going to use a tangent line function to draw this line up here. So I want to trim, I'm actually going to bring this one, sorry everyone, I'm going to bring this one up here too, because that is going around the edge. It is also 0.5 right there. And then here, I'm going to trim this out. Do I want to trim it out first? No, I'm going to draw a line. Line first. Okay, I'm going to draw a line from, I believe we're going to draw a line from this point right here up to this angle right there. And then if I draw another line straight down from that corner, from that triangle that was there, right down to this diamond right there, and then I can trim things out. So I want to trim this out. I want to trim this out. Okay, this is where it's got to pay attention to what you're trimming out to make that arc work. And if you're having trouble, always Command Z and give it a shot. Try it again. Get rid of this here too, and get rid of these two. Then I'm going to do L for line, and then I'm going to do tan for a tangent line. I want to specify my first point, and then specify my next point. I'm going to type tan again, and right there, like so. That's going to draw out that top angle, and then I can trim this out too. Trim this out. I can trim this out. Now I get rid of that. And notice here you might need to zoom in so you make sure you get everything trimmed out of those little edges right there. And up top too, I can trim this out too, and I should be able to trim this out right there. And I can draw a line. I can finish this top section here. I can draw a line straight up here, and then I can trim all of this junk out too. Going across like so. And that goes away. Sweet. Okay, we are moving right along. All right, so we got the top right corner almost done here. Let's move on down to the bottom here. So I know that I can offset this middle line here. So O for offset, it's going to be the same, or I'm actually going to offset from the top. Offset from the top because I can see my dimension here on the right side of things. And I'll have to put this on your paper here. But on the right side of things, we should have a dimension that's missing from mine right now. So I'm going to add that dimension, linear, and I'll add it right here. And straight down to, we'll go to this point, this node right here. And this should be 5.125. And if I go over here to my settings, this is 5.13 right now, and I want to make sure this is on precision of units, precision right here, 5.125. So I'm going to offset that top line now. So O for offset by 5.125, and I'll bring this right down here, right down the bottom. Cool. And then we're going to use a new tool to draw this circle in the lower right here. That circle has a diameter of 0.562, and the radius going around it is 1, or the radius going around is half, 0.5. So I'm going to use, on here, we're going to go to my circle tool up in the upper left here, and I want to use a 2-point circle for this. This creates a circle using 2-point ends of a diameter. So radius is 0.5, so the diameter of that circle will be 1. So I'm going to do it right from this corner right here, just double checking things here to make sure that's the right spot. And that should be 4.125 over. Well, not right there, so we're going to offset 4.125 from this center point right there. And then I can stretch this out too here, like so. Okay, then I'm going to do C for circle. I'm going up here to my 2-point circle. And right there, and this is going to be 1. Because the radius is 0.5, the diameter is going to be 1. And then I can copy this up here. So I can take this one from here and CO for copy. And I can move it right down to that center point right there. That's going to dive right in there. And then I can draw a line. And it's going to be a tangent line again, so L for L for line, TAN for tangent, and then TAN again, make another tangent line right there, going across. And then I can trim this out. I trim this all out right here. And I think we're almost done here on the right side. And the great thing is we'll be able to mirror most of this across. I'll trim this out too, get rid of this. And then I'm going to get rid of all of these different lines here. I'm going to leave that center line in for now, this line right here. I'm going to get rid of all these extra little lines before you mirror this across. And you can see I actually missed one point. If I zoom in right here, I want to make sure I trim that out too. Make sure we don't miss anything hanging out there. All right, so this here is going to be the first video on just how to get started on this assignment. Next video is going to go over how we're going to mirror this across to our left side, and I can actually trim this out too, so I can get rid of this right there. We'll mirror it across the left side, and then we're going to focus on the bolt pattern that we have going on here in the bolt circles, and then dimensioning. We'll finish up the assignment. If you really struggled on creating this here, I would definitely, instead of mirroring it, I would definitely just try and recreate it on the left side, or even delete this all and just restart. This is a very important process that we're going through that you're going to have to use in multiple assignments coming up. All right, that's the end of this video, everyone.